Now that we've done that, let's test something. Well, in this case, I know exactly what happened on Falkenstein. I stayed up late because last night was D&D light, and I woke up early because a friend of mine needed help. That's pretty much it. So this isn't a medical thing. This is just, you know, circumstance, right? Okay. If this game had no story and good controls, do I think I'd enjoy it? Probably not. Oh, this is before the Queen fight. That means if we died, we would have to reload. Like, if we died, put the controls down, and then came back to the game, we'd have to reload before the final boss. Unfortunately, we don't have to deal with that nonsense, because we have this thing called save states. So this is technically the final encounter of the game. The second final encounter of the game, of 3. And we're done. So you're probably wondering, who's the villain of this game? Well, as is fairly normal, he hasn't even shown up yet. Or rather, he just showed up. That guy is the villain of the game. No, I don't know why they do this when Mother Brain shuts down. Yes, Von Falkenstein. Yeah, this guy is the main villain. I'm not even sure he has a name.
Stop! Don't move!
You realize I'm Samus Aran, right? Like, do you have any idea who I am?
Melissa!
Hey, are you okay? Hey, hang down over there, too! I'm getting you out of here.
So, Miss Aran, I heard what happened. You performed admirably. You can leave the rest to us.
He just can't stop himself from laughing and smiling evilly. He's done it twice so far.
Madeline!
Wait, Aran. Unfortunate what happened to Commander Malkovich. And to think that his entire unit was annihilated. Truly a tragic day. Would you agree, Aran?
What?
Sadly, with them gone, you're just an outsider. And given your unofficial status, I cannot allow you contact with the witness. With your predilection for transporting illegal cargo like infant Metroids. I must ask that you restrict your... Time for the lady to go home. Someone escort her.
Yes, sir. Time for us to go. Come on, princess.
Yeah, he lived, by the way.
Stop right there. Who are you?
Anthony Hicks, sir. Galactic Federation Platoon 7. I need to secure the safety of any survivors, Commander Malkovich's orders, and the purpose of this mission.
What?
Authorized by the chairman of the Galactic Federation. Of course.
What do you mean, the chairman?
Man, you guys made it here quick. I mean, if I hadn't stopped the engines, we might have missed each other.
It's really sad, because I'm actually glad Anthony lived. But it's still a fake-out death. It's not even a good fake-out death.
Crazy how something good can come out of something bad.
Also, that was supposed to be a comeuppance scene. But, you know. Wasn't.
Whoa, didn't mean to wake her. Guess I ought to be quiet.
Anthony was trying to be courteous to Madeline. She was exhausted and had only just fallen asleep. She needed the rest. She had a lot of explaining to do once she got to Galactic Federation headquarters. For herself. And for Melissa.
Still can't get my head around it. What a crazy mission.
Anthony sighed as he muttered to himself. What would have happened if we hadn't been called there? Might the furious MB have attacked the Galactic Federation and brought about its utter destruction? Melissa wasn't insane, no. One day, a consciousness simply bloomed within her. And those that caused it to bloom, the humans, called it insanity. I was the insane one.
Okay, hold up. How many of you have ever played Chrono Cross? Hear me out. I know y'all love Chrono Cross like it's the best game ever, and that's cool. But I'm pulling up Chrono Cross on purpose because there's something that happens during the true ending of Chrono Cross, which can be best described as meaningless narration of nonsense. It is straight up nonsense. I don't know what other word to use. And I'm not saying that as an insult word. I mean, literally, it is nonsensical. And I've noticed this among several Japanese games. Maybe it's a localization thing, maybe it's a Japanese thing. But there's just this thing where they feel the need to close out their games with this. Devil May Cry 1 did this as well, now that I'm thinking about it. Actually, I think Resident Evil 4 did as well, for that matter. It's just this thing. Why is this a thing?
That was what Madeline muttered softly as she sank into sleep. The selfish conceits of humans drove MB to violence. It was their distorted perceptions and greed that awoke such fury in the fledgling girl's heart.
Or maybe the fact that you patterned her mind off of the mother brain, an entity which already had decided to take over the entire universe, psychically, by the way, to totally dominate and control every life in the galaxy at the same time. And that was the thing you copied into a person, and lo and behold, she went a little wonky. Because of course she did, you goddamn moron. We have just made an AI which is perfectly based off of Hitler's brain scans. For some reason, it keeps insisting on committing genocide. We're not sure why, but clearly it's our fault, because we have awoken this darkness within the Hitler... Or sorry, it would be like... It would be, instead of Hitler, it would be AH, right? They'd call it AH. For some reason, AH just keeps seeming to insist on all this horrible stuff. I don't understand why.
Her thought was to punish the foolish and conceited. But MB could not complete her mission. As Melissa, she was defeated. With their one vulnerability overcome, the Metroids were indestructible.
Oh my god.
If some fool just following orders had taken the savage creatures to those who sought them. I can't imagine what would have happened if Adam hadn't recognized the looming danger.
Yes, Adam is the hero of the story, by the way. His dick, oh my god, it's so big. It's so great and amazing, and he's just so good. You don't even know. Praise Adam! Praise Adam!
The cost was far too great. Why did Adam have to pay with his life? For me, I couldn't believe he was dead.
I hadn't played Fusion yet.
For the first time, I questioned his choice.
He didn't, Blade Javal. It was a dumb scene. It was like a 5 negative scene.
No objections, right, lady?
I heard Adam's voice in my head.
Yeah, I don't like to use the word cringe because it's overused and misused, but this is cringe.
And I knew in my heart that he had made the right decision. Just as he had so many years ago. In that moment, I swore not to grieve his death.
Because I'm from the United Federation of Planets.
I gave him a thumbs up. Just in case he was watching over me.
Anthony's still the best character in this game.
His amused expression looked as though he wanted to say something. His face and Adam's swirled together.
Still gross.
That last smile as Adam drifted away.
Again, Samus is 6'2", which I keep pointing out because right now she's on heels, like really ridiculously tall heels, and she's super short for some reason. Yeah, exactly. Like she looks so short here, and Anthony was just towering over her. Like maybe he's just a straight up giant. I don't know. Yeah, Adam was taller than her too, which is even more confusing. A random military dude was taller than the giant 6'2" Samus Aran, who is known for being tall. Like, you probably think I'm picking on the little things, but the little things matter. The little things are those details that separate Drek and dull from good. Details are what make things good. And if you just decide, without her suit, Van Falkenstein, if you just decide randomly to make Samus shorter, then I'm going to notice that. Especially if you're doing it specifically in order to showcase it alongside the men who are suddenly magically taller than her. Yeah, no, she's a heavy in Smash Bros. For a reason. God, this game sucked. God damn, this game sucked. And the worst part is, we're not actually done yet. Oh, you thought we were done? Just you wait. Just you wait. Can I skip through this? You know, this is insulting twice. Oh no, it's both, Blade Jamal. Check this out, check this out. Insult number 1. Making her all demure and soft and kind and moe and all that little crap, right? You know, that's already insulting, to be blunt. Especially since it was deliberately done to make her appeal more to Japanese audience. Which, I remind you, it didn't work. But I re-stress that the second reason this is insulting is because it presumes that a woman cannot be soft and kind and gentle, and then also at the exact same time be a total badass. Like those are somehow oil and water, right? That's like they can't mix. Oh my god. Yeah, actually, Tifa is surprisingly a really good example of this. Tifa is tall, muscular, fit, strong, great in a fight, able to keep pace with people who are way more experienced and skilled than she is, and also is a soft, kind, motherly, affectionate woman. Huh. Yeah, Tifa can keep up with super soldiers. She usually loses in the end, but I'll always remember the scene in Advent Children. I know, Advent Children, but the fact that she was able to hang with a literal Genova-infused super soldier says something about how much of a freaking badass Tifa is. Like, when you're fighting something that higher, that much higher than your weight class, and you're able to hang with them, you're doing well. God. 3 companies. Was Advent Children any good? That's certainly a question. No, this is the best game I've ever played. 10 out of 10. I don't know, it was 7 out of 10, wasn't it? This game got a 7 out of 10. I wish I could skip this. Oh yeah, the boss. There's another badass who was a nurturing character. Yeah, I know Japan loves the warrior poet type, but the problem with that, hear me out, is if you're writing for a warrior poet, you need to be a good writer. So, better questions, Active. Do you think she'd come back after this nightmare? It does not pause in the back, or rather, it doesn't pause at all. I'm all tabbed right now, but the problem is, I've actually already done all the paperwork. Audit sheet is lined up, the spreadsheet, or the actual document is lined up. We're basically ready to go. Except for the actual outro. What's the fast forward button? Is there a fast forward button? Can I speed this up, please? Maybe I shouldn't. The Dolphin is notoriously, unstable. No, spacebar does this. It's kind of the opposite of speeding it up. Oh, are we done? Are we there? God, I know, right, Trihexian?
Ultimately, the decision was made to destroy the bottle ship. A mission that will most likely be carried out in the next day or two. I'm heading toward the bottle ship now. I'm going to rescue something that was left there. Something that can't be replaced.
You thought I was joking. We're actually not done with the game yet. We haven't even fought the actual final boss yet. Now, for those of you who know, please don't say anything. But for those of you who do not know, I want you to guess who the actual final boss is. Hey, we know you power bombs. Actually, fun fact, we've been able to use power bombs for a while. Nothing in the game tells you that, but, you know. So, I want you all to do me a favor while you're guessing who the actual final boss is. So, Wesker, You will achieve complete global saturation. So I want you I want you to tell me, if you don't mind, what is a core element of a Metroid game? Arguably the core element, but that could be debated. Not a Metroidvania, a Metroid game. Platforming's a good answer. Killing Ridley's a terrible answer. Exploring, very good answer. In fact, exploring is kind of what I'm going for here. So I'll latch on to exploring. And 100% collection. And getting the upgrades, right? Yep. Okay. So, here, now, after the second of three, or sorry, the first two of the three last bosses, this is when you can finally go gather all the items. Now, don't mistake me. You can get several of them before this. But a fairly large percent of the item collection can only be done here. In what is functionally a post-game. I would like to argue that that deserves its own negative. And I should hope so. Because I already gave it. It's negative number 37 there. Like, in a Metroid game in general, that's awful. But even if this wasn't a Metroid game, in a game where the only progression you get, the only, like, you go get, yes, Unfoggerstein. You can only go get the missile upgrades and energy upgrades after the game's done. Just really process that for a minute. Now, I know. There is actually a last boss at the end of all this. But still. Oh, by the way, we're turbo not doing that. Although I might regret it, because the last boss can be a thing. Let's see how this works out. In fact, let's grab... No, I'm not 100%ing this game. I am never 100%ing this game. I don't care. I have better things to do with my time than 100% other M. Hello, J. Palmer. Well, we'll find out, won't we, Spartan? That's part of the queue. Loading. Oh, you know my favorite part about this part of the game? The music practically went away. Sometime in the 90s era. Maybe early aughts. Maybe late aughts. By memory, I don't remember. I'd much rather actually give you my opinion on that when I've actually played the game and done a full analysis of it. Thank you, J. Palmer. As always. I will jot that down. Yes, we are probably as close to the end of the game as we're ever gonna get, except for everything after this. Ace Combat X, Season 1 of 24, and Seek and Destroy. I think we'll go ahead and cut off the guessing game. The reminder that the score on screen is up to date. Well, no, it's not quite like that, Spartan. I don't want to sound dismissive. It's just that in my experience, and I do have a lot of personal experience with this, yes, Sly Cooper, Sly Collection, same thing. Is that if I give my opinion on something without having actually done a proper modern analysis of it, that opinion has maybe like a 20% success rate. And I'd much rather just, you know, not. That's why I don't like to give my opinion from memory. Yeah, Mr. Ed. Like, for example, let me just quote myself from about 3 days ago. Metroid Other M isn't going to be a particularly good game, but I think it'll score net positive. That is an opinion that has failed. So... Well, fair is fair, J. Palmer. Yet nobody say, if you know who the final boss is, don't say. Please, please don't spoil it. I really want people to enjoy the final boss when we get there. And yes, I realize this technically qualifies as a boss. Let's ignore that. So you want to hear something really pathetic? I realized as I was doing the audit this morning. How many pluses to level design do you think I gave this Metroid game? None is correct. Now here's the really sad part. How many negatives do you think I gave to level design for this game? Blade Travel's already gotten where I'm going with this. The answer is none. There is no level design in this game. The closest things we have to level design is like that part where we had to jump up the platforms by icing them, and a couple of sequences where you have to make a jump. There's no level design in this game. Now, that's whatever, ultimately. You know, each game has to stand on its own, and there's nothing wrong with Gaiden games, and blah, 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 blah. But in reality land, a Metroid game has no level design. Oh, I gave several guidance and flow negatives in their own category, obviously. Now, what's really funny is Taqueta just mentioned that this game is more of a rail shooter than anything else. And, well, yeah. In fact, there are several interviews which have been debated over the years, but based on evidence and analysis, I'm pretty sure that the intent of those interviews was that Sakamoto actually really wanted to make a Metroid rail shooter. So yeah, those little orb spots, those are all over the place. This is why there's so many items you cannot collect until this part of the game, is because there's an entire type of door you had no access to and no ability to open until after the final boss. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what to say about that. Honestly, I don't even know where to go with that. Come here. Yeah, the map's not super big. Well, we could obviously probably 100% this pretty quickly. I just don't care. Any time is wasted time here. PFR and all that. So. That's where it came from. God damn it, it is where it came from. It's okay, the entire room looks exactly identical, and the map rotates with you. That's a good way to put that, Blade Taval. I have 100%ed every Metroid game except this one. I've done several of those on camera. I'll probably continue to do several of those on camera. This game does not deserve that. I have 100%ed one. The last time I played it, I used a guide. Obviously, I'm not gonna lie about that or try to talk myself up. Does that include Prime Hunters? No. It also does not include pinball. I've never really played Prime Hunters. I don't own it, as I mentioned earlier. No, Blade Ball. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I've got some plans. Big plans. Well, that's another thing. The power bomb just activates them. It doesn't kill them, which is all kinds of nonsense. I don't want to say I'm excited for Metroid 1. It feels like a misnomer, but at the same time, I'm more looking forward to it than this nonsense. It's just being off of this game is something I'm excited for. I think that's a fair way to put that. Mr. Ed, were you there when I got a super rare drop off of Garrosh? Back when Pandaria was new. And it was a best in slot axe for me. So, God, that's weird to think I was streaming that far back. But anyways, yeah, so I deleted it. Dragged it out of my inventory and straight up deleted it. That was the level of disdain I had for that. Which I bring up in relation to 100%ing this game for obvious reasons. Yeah, you see what I mean by level design? There's no level here. This is a corridor. This is a straight up corridor. Oh, the fight's actually really good. It was for Garrosh himself, which is funny because he's also probably one of the better written characters in the game. Look at this! This is not level design. I just... Ugh. No, not the tusks. The axe. I don't remember what it's called. Something old gaudy. The mutated Gorehowl. Look at this! Look at this! Am I even going the right way? Yeah, no, I am. Zalato. Thank you. I keep wanting to say Zalatash, but that's actually a different thing. Why is it called Other M? Well, because this is all the game all about the other mother, Evo. See, there's this thing called the baby. I'm not actually joking. It really does stand for Other M. That is a true statement. Or other mom. Other mother. Oh god. Yeah, just watch the stream. Just soak in the loveliness. I hope this has been an entertaining stream for y'all, because this game has been causing me so many issues. This is not a joke. Last night, the dream that I woke up to today, you like when they pop out and their spawn condition puts them into a situation to ambush you. Isn't that great? Anyways, the dream that I was having when I woke up was about not having good controls and having trouble getting the thing I was doing in the dream to work the way I wanted it to. That's a real statement that I am not making up. It wasn't Metroid, it's just... God damn. Level design. What game was it? Fortnite, actually. I was flying a 747. Or, I guess I should say I was trying to. I wasn't succeeding very well, because, again, controls. I did play Fortnite. Not the version you're thinking of, the single-player mode that nobody remembers exists anymore. The actual Battle Royale mode has negative interest for me, so... Yes, Blue Fusion Bolt. Yeah, by the way, I might not be doing a video about this game. I guess that's true about every game, so whatever, grain of salt.
This elevator is bound for the main sector.
I think this is a Lamentation game, yes, 100%. The problem is, a rumination in this game will literally just be me reading the review document down. I've started getting a lot more verbose about my notes. So it's just me being like, well, going down the list. Yeah, Starfield was something special. I was willing to break the rule on that one. The no room rule. How you liking this music? Did you know that Metroid games have always been known for having good music? Even Metroid 1. They actually brought on a special composer who's I'll talk about more when we talk about Metroid 1. Specifically to add more flavor and oomph to the soundtrack of Metroid 1. And it was praised at the time for being really good for a video game soundtrack, which I know is insulting, but it's still true. Oh, the first time Blue Fusion Volt? Like, I don't think I did it on purpose at all. It just, I noticed the red thing there. I don't know why I said the first time. I didn't know. I noticed the red thing there, and I was like, oh, let's zoom in on that. And yeah. Huh. If I did a room on this game, I guarantee you, I would get at least one comment saying, I'm disappointed in you for going along with the crowd and insisting that this is a bad game. You simply don't understand or appreciate it. This game gets too overhated, and I am better than everyone. I mean, this game is better than other people think it is because I acknowledge its greatness, and in the doing, I have elevated it to elite status. Or something to that effect. Actually, yes, I did, Mike Romano. I do get that on every video. Anytime I speak negatively about anything, I get at least one person who's like, Chauncey, the chocolate ice. Where the hell do you want me to go, game? Where is this door? And thus was Samus stuck forever trying to find a door. Where is it? Oh, I remember. Yeah, yes. I've actually been called pretentious a lot, which I always find hilarious because I don't even know how to add to that. I just, of all things to accuse me of. Then again, one of the more common comments I get, mostly on YouTube, is that I'm lazy. Which is probably the only thing that's actually less, you know, realistic than me being pretentious. Hey, Jay in the Notebook. How's your day going? Where am I supposed to go here? There's really only one way to go, and I can't seem to find... Okay, so it's... Clearly it's an up, right? Like, clearly this level design is going up. So let's go up. Well, and one thing I have noticed, to be a little bit fair about the pretension thing, a lot of people don't know the difference between confidence and arrogance, and I do tend to absolutely come down as confident, because I've been doing this for a long time, and I am actually confident in my ability to analyze and review games. But not arrogant. I make mistakes all the time, and I know that. And I have you all to help check me and give me other opinions on stuff, and I absolutely credit that regularly. Yeah, I'm thinking Powerbomb. It's the only thing that makes sense. Which is naturally why it did absolutely nothing. There's nothing there. Yeah, no, alright, let's look at the walkthrough. No, they absolutely have, Blade Troll. It's a very valid thing to check. Oh, excuse me. Ugh. Yeah. True enough, Jesse's mask. Okay, I've got to have just straight up missed it. If that's the right spot, it probably isn't. Let's just look around here for a second. This is my fault. I wasn't looking for this. So if it was there, I didn't process that it was there. But I don't see it. Okay. But there's, like, nowhere else to go. Like, that's just back. It's more like there's a negative when it's not there, Darkrai. Okay, hang on. So if you see any of those little pod things, the things we can powerbomb now, say something. Because otherwise, I don't know what to do here. It's also entirely possible that this is a dead-end room and they just want me to get that power up, although I also don't know how to get that power up, so that's cool. The walkthrough I have is unfortunately dominantly text, so not super helpful. Nothing over here, nothing up here, nothing over here, nothing over here. So, to get you a little more hyped for Metroid 1, did you know I'll be playing it without a guide at first? The goal is to get as far as I can without looking anything up. We'll see how that goes. God damn it. Yeah, I only saw that because I was very specifically looking for it. Actually, I have, although not in a very long time here. Like, since it was new kind of a time. An elevator? But... okay. But where I want to go was on the previous floor. In fact, it was like 2 rooms away from where I was. Now I'm just over here? Alright, whatever. God, they're really padding out this outro, aren't they? I should mention, I think we're going to fight those things at least 3 more times before the end of this. Don't worry, they're not the final boss. That'd be funny, though. Final boss. Those things that you didn't actually fight last time, that were mostly in a cutscene. Probably not, Zekta. She's a conscientious bounty hunter, after all. Round 2. I wish I'd stop jumping on them. I'm just trying to jump into them. This screw attack is ridiculous. It's stuck in the floor. It's stuck in the floor. The door's closed, and this is a red door room. Okay, never mind. It's just stupid. Ignore me. Yeah, we're okay. It's not a bug. Ignore me. It's just bad design. So you notice those portals all these enemies are popping out of, by the way? That's your hint as to who the final boss is. Which I only point out because it's surprising they bothered. You notice how they went from empty corridors for quite a ways to just straight up, like, gauntlets, right? These are classic beat-em-up rules here. NES beat-em-ups. Although that's not fair. NES beat-em-ups usually have better design than this. Now the asshole. We found another one, because, you know, that's a pretty big list here. We did it. We made it. So, if you guessed that the final boss is Phantoon from Super Metroid, congratulations, you're psychic. I don't know how else you would have figured that one out. This was such a giant space flea from nowhere moment that, in fact, they had to answer this in a completely separate thing to explain what the hell is going on here. Would anyone like to guess? Go on, guess. No, Dream would probably make too much sense. No, you see, it turns out, and we'll talk a little bit about this during the Super run, Phantoon is directly connected to Mother Brain. Now, the specifics of how are vague because they can't seem to make up their minds on that. But he is directly connected to Mother Brain. Here, he is actually very specifically the final thoughts of Mother Brain's psychic energy being projected into the physical realm. And since we killed her brain form, and then we killed her android body, this is what's left. Now, there was always a connection between Phantoon and Mother Brain, so there's at least logic there, but that sounds a lot like an arse pull to me, especially since that didn't show up for years after this game came out. For years, we had no explanation about this whatsoever. It's just, here's Phantoon! And it's like, why? Having said that, we do know that one of the things that I believe it was Team Ninja specifically, did was they were doing 3D renders and models of several bosses from Super because, for fun, right? And they wanted to use this one. So they did. And if you haven't gotten your guesses in, this is a good time to do so, because this is the actual final boss. There's nothing after this. Could you stop barraging me with things that I can't do anything about other than infinitely dodge, please? Is that a thing you could do? 5 seconds? Appreciate you. We're not actually quite done yet. You know what's coming. Every Metroid game has this, to some extent or another. Although, actually, we're not done yet, because we literally haven't gotten to our objective yet. Did I miss it? Nope. Yep, okay. So, sorry, we're not done yet twice. Seriously? Like, you want me to go back down? Yeah? Okay. Sure. Let's go to the room I was just in. You remember this room, right? This is the one I was stuck in for like 5 minutes trying to figure out how to go forwards. Why? Why do you hate me, game? Senpai, I mean...
Madeline, thanks for telling me all this. I've got to destroy the Metroids and MB in Sector 0. You have to remain hidden.
No! Samus!
Don't worry. The Galactic Federation CO, who's here now, will help you.
Why did he take all his gear but his helmet? To go into combat, no less. Yeah, you know this is coming.
Instructions protocol activated. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
Time to go.
Minute until detonation. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
So, you know how the evacuation sequences usually involve some gameplay? I think someone was like, you know what? We don't really need gameplay in our game. We got this. Come on, game. Oh, for God's sake. I mean, that's not really like what makes an evacuation sequence, right? Even in Metroid 1, they even referenced the evacuation sequence in Metroid 1 in the manual. Because they were worried players would be caught by surprise by it, as they wanted to give them some kind of a warning. Notice we also have no health. We have 1 health bar.
4 minute until detonation. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
Also, we have that stupid pea shooter. I guarantee you they were like, hey, you know, Zero Mission did a cool thing. Let's do that. With no idea how to actually do that. Yeah, I was about to say, Fusion happens right after this when she loses her ship. And Samus lives in that ship. So, you know. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm trying to imply is that because she loses the ship she lives in, yeah, this helmet's turbo gone. So I hope it was worth it.
3 minutes to destination. Please evacuate the facility immediately.
No, no. Why would exit grates show up for a self-destruct sequence? Like, you know, when there's an evacuation protocol in effect, you don't want things blocking the way, do you? Right?
2 minutes to destination.
No? Is that just me?
Please evacuate the facility immediately.
Also, why is the ship blowing up gradually? Like, I know this is much more exciting, but what a self-destruct usually means is like a core reactor overload, which causes the entire core to go critical, which then goes up in one gigantic explosion. There's not, like, dynamite strategically placed throughout the ship and or station, which is just going off for some reason. Yeah, ironically, an actual self-destruct actual time now. The actual self-destruct is usually rather banal. Absolutely nothing happens, and then there's a really, really big explosion.
Waiting, Adam. Let's go home.
Yeah, and for some reason there's rocks in the consoles. I don't know why. I feel so accomplished for having actually beaten the game. 36%, I think it was? No, 24%. Yeah, I'm just so good at games, you guys. Oh, my God. I hope you like that, because that's the ending. I think. Maybe there's something else. Nope, that really was it. That really was the end. Hey, we now have the ability to go look at all those cutscenes whenever we want to. We've unlocked the ability to watch the cutscenes, everyone. That's our reward. Our reward. Oh my God. Oh, that would be funny, Blade Travel. So I've already done most of the audit. They are, in fact, unskippable cutscenes. That is a truthful statement. Oh, my brain. Probably not today, Ross, and not the way I intend to play it. If I actually had a walkthrough and all that fun stuff, sure. But remember, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so I'm actually gonna after I wrap this up, I'm actually gonna lay down and try to catch up on rest a little bit. I don't want to walk into Metroid 1 this tired, you know what I mean? Frankly, I don't want to play any of the outros. The Metroid's this tired. But I figured we could finish up Other M this way, and I was right. So, woo. You know, I'm curious of something. Hang on. I'm really curious of something. There's a play all. Nah, you said no sorries, Evo. Chapter 16. The Dummening. Now loading. It's an FMV, dude. It's a frickin' MPEG. Or it's... What is this? Oh my god. They recorded the game cutscenes in addition to having the MPEGs that are playing. I'm not sure what to... It's a playthrough. It's an edited playthrough, so you get rid of all the boring parts. And all you have left is the bad. Well, whatever. What I really wanted to see is... you can skip the cutscenes in the theater mode. Wouldn't that have been funny? You start up theater mode, it's like, oh, what? I selected the wrong cutscene. Nope, you're locked in. That's a weird choice. I'm actually kind of in favor of that. In a good game, that would have been kind of neat. In this game, it's just whatever. Yeah, one final middle finger at the end of everything. Let's wrap this crap up, shall we? No, one will be today. Well, whenever I wake up. I don't know when I'm going to wake up. That's the truthfulness there. I'm going a little slower than usual because I don't want to make any screw-ups. And also, my calculator just broke. What? What? Yeah, I can't open up Windows Calculator. It's just giving me a generic error message. Okay. Well, I can do math in my head, but I also have a phone right in front of me, so... Windows being Windows. That's a new one for me, though, I'll be honest. See you around, Blue Fusion Volt. Yes, Yura. Screw Windows 11. You know, while we're here, you want to hear an interesting little factoid? Pentiment was a 24-hour run. The Messenger was a 16-hour run. And yet, which one of those actually felt longer? Someone in chat put this brilliantly. I forget who it was now, so forgive me on that. But what's really the problem is not when a game is long, but when a game feels long. When a game feels like it's dragging, you need to just get on with it. That's a problem. I bring that up because this game was 14.67 hours and still felt longer than Pentiment, which I remind you is 10 hours longer than it. Like, that's not a small gap. Yeah, Pentiment was a nice, chill game, other than my throat, which didn't enjoy it. Yeah, almost twice as long. Felt shorter. Let's pull this over here. You know what? In honor of that. While we're sitting here. Doing some math slowly. Someone type exclamation mark next really quick, please. Thank you. No, Pancake. Why would you want to skip Metroid and Zelda? I'm going as fast as I dare, you know. I don't want to screw up. Oh, come on. This is like one of the good songs. That's the whole reason I had it here. God, that's so bad. Oh, yeah, no, it definitely grates after a while. I agree with that. Probably because most of the songs are only like a minute and a half long loop. Yeah, don't worry. Metroid 1 will probably not score very well. I'm not going to lie about that. But it'll also be short. We might beat it today. Alright, I'll stop torturing you. No more torture. No more torture. Just for you. Just for you. Torture removed. Here, have a different type of torture. Oh, that's impressive. Oh, all music grates at a certain point. This is actually not joking. You can kind of gauge the quality of a song by how long you can listen to it before you get sick of it. Yeah, every song grates at a certain point. It's the same thing with food, right? At a certain point, you will always get sick of something. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Negative 63 to story. Negative 63 to story. That is 4.3 negatives per hour and a ratio of 4.35%. Yeah, that's impressive. Gameplay, negative 29. Believe it or not, the game, as everyone said, including me, the gameplay is better than the story. That is merely 2 negatives per hour and a ratio of 19.15%. Yes, I do. Darkrai, hey, what's up? I haven't seen you in forever. And yes, I've talked about them extensively throughout the course of this stream. Hell, I had like a 40-minute diatribe before we even started playing it. All of that gives us a net total of negative, drumroll, please. Oh my god. Yeah, we actually have both Darkrai's in chat. Holy crap. That's shocking. That's so bad. That surpasses Just Cause 4. And by God, is that an insult. 4.35%. Not the worst story ratio we've seen, because remember, we've seen a story ratio of 0. And a gameplay ratio of 0. Like, I'm sorry, but we've already floored on the ratio side of things. Anyways, jotting down some numbers here super quick. A final gameplay. Final golden number of negative 239.64. That puts it in the number 7 slot for perspective. This is the 7th worst game I have reviewed to date. Surpassed by Kingsfield 4, which I agree with. Mega Man X7, Quest 64, Devil May Cry 2, Starfield, and Secret of the Stars. And I agree with all of those. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, the gap in between Kingsfield 4 and Age of Sigmar is actually quite large. It's a gap of 80 points. That's huge. What happened to Kingsfield 4? It got a negative 252. Lufia 1 is better than this, yeah. By about 200. Or 180, more accurately. Well, Devil May Cry 2 isn't that much longer. And Mega Man X7, I think, is actually shorter. I can double check that. Mega Man X7 is about half the length of this game. So much higher density of awful. That's probably why that one got shoved up so high. Kingsfield 4 is the same length. We were cheating, in the interest of fairness. Quest 64 is the same length. Devil May Cry 2 is about 4 hours shorter. Starfield is long as hell. And Secret of the Stars was the same length. Wow, that's weird how many of these are 14 hours. Anyways. Yeah, where's the guessing game? Let's see who won that one. Hang on a second. Just use my own bot to pull that up here. Looks like that's going to Ect pretty solidly. Yep. So congrats, Ict. Scroll this down. I know, right, Malcolm Blade? Again, how long a game feels is more important than how long a game is, really. Let's go into the PMD block. Undertale Yellow and Kaiserreich. Alright, so that sucked. I hope I made for at least a moderately enjoyable stream. Like I said, I'm going to go lay down. I'm tired. I got some paperwork to do. And then we're going to come back to Metroid 1. The other one I'm dreading. We'll see.